This video's dumb.
Oh, you are so dumb.
I don't know how anyone working at Screen Rant can look at this script and go, yeah, I like the look of this. I can't wait to publish this. It's not like it's gonna make any of us look like total cons. Now, I normally try to avoid fan theories as much as possible, mainly because they're stupid and fucking insane. Especially the Star Wars ones. Fuck those. It's gotten so bad now, I'm actually surprised there isn't a theory out there that Charles Manson was a fifth lost Teletubby. And don't get me wrong, I do know that the theories they do are basically just clickbait and they're not actually conjured up by them. But at some point you have to step back and think, maybe the numbers aren't as important and maybe it's more important that I keep my integrity. Well, fuck that! So for the point of brevity, I'm actually going to skip the part where at the beginning they mentioned about Lady Death in the comics, because realistically, the comics are fucking irrelevant when you think about it, and have no bearing on the films. Not really. Alright, let's just get on with the video now.
Of course, that theory starts with the mid-credits scene from the Avengers, in which the Mad Titan smiled at the idea of putting his life at risk. Why else would he do that unless he at least somewhat liked the idea of dying? Then you have to think about the fact that in spite of the fact that he got his hands on the Infinity Stones fairly easily in the end, which he must have known he was capable of doing.
Yeah, or Thanos is one of those characters that has conviction. I can tell this whenever he says lines like,
"The hardest choices require the strongest wills. I ignored my destiny once. I cannot do that again."
Believe it or not, Joss Whedon didn't actually know what he was going to do with Thanos. And that's not hard to believe, because in the comics, he's a bit of a cunt. I mean, yeah, I guess he's got some depth to him, but at the heart of his character is just pussy-whipped and shallow. So when Whedon left and the Russos came in, they decided to make some changes. Instead of wiping out half the population for Lady Death, he decided to do it for environmental reasons. And it's a change that worked out so well, from being a nihilistic maniac to someone whose motivation is more relatable. While I'm at it, can I talk about the idiots who said for a whole year that wiping out half the population of Earth was actually a good thing? Because I fucking love how people were like,
oh, well, you know, we've only got finite resources and, you know, turning people into dust seems real humane-like, innit? Not to mention birth control and overpopulation.
And I'll put money on the table right now that everyone who said it'd be a good idea probably bet that they'd survive as well. Because you have to give credit to the presentation of the whole thing. Environmentalism, turning people to dust. If you just altered one thing, like say if people didn't turn into dust after the snap, say this happened instead. Yeah, try defending that!
He was previously giving them away and letting others collect them on his behalf for several years. He sent Loki after the Space Stone, knowing the God of Mischief could have potentially used it against him given his disloyal nature. And he literally handed the would-be king of Jotunheim the Mind Stone in order to let him go after it. Essentially, Thanos' plan was to give an evil sorcerer the opportunity to have 2 Infinity Stones in his possession, knowing full well that having them both would actually make him powerful enough to kill him. It didn't end up happening, but did Thanos really think someone known as the God of Mischief wouldn't use 2 Infinity Stones against him?
Do you have a bit of experience in that arena?
Then came his attempts to gain the Power Stone, arguably the most dangerous of the Infinity Stones in 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy. Rather than just show up on Morag and get it himself, he sent the volatile Kree warlord Ronan after it. I mean, really? What kind of maniac would send Ronan the Accuser after an item powerful enough to destroy planets and expect him to just hand it over without any issues?
Loki didn't know that the scepter had an Infinity Stone in it, and even if he was aware that he had possession of 2 of them, it's not like that he's a fire anyway. I mean, yeah, sure, he fucks these guys up, but Loki couldn't go up against Thanos. If he tried squaring up to Thanos, Thanos would just kill him. In fact, spoilers, he does. As for Ronan, listen to this.
Bring you the orb, and you will destroy Xandar for me. However, now that I know it contains an Infinity Stone, now that I know it contains an Infinity Stone,
why would Thanos tell this fucking idiot about the Infinity Stone inside the orb? Plan was, get the orb, give it to Thanos, and fuck off. The reason he didn't go after Ronan after he found out about the Power Stone is because he would kill him. Almost like he doesn't want to die. And besides, if you can get people to do something for you, for free, why not? Unless of course they inevitably fuck up, in which case, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
En route to collecting them all, you also get the distinct impression that he wasn't going all out, which was always going to be a risk against characters like Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Thor. He could have easily killed guys like Spider-Man, Star-Lord, and Drax, but it was like his efforts were half-baked in the hope that someone would land a killing blow. Of course, it never happened, and ultimately he snapped his fingers, again having absolutely no idea or care about whether or not it would kill him. But alas, it didn't. It just severely wounded him.
Congratulations. You're an idiot. By that logic, characters like Batman, Spider-Man, Superman secretly want to die because they never go all out. Spider-Man can literally fuck your shit up with one punch. Not just that, but... no, wait. I'm gonna save that for another video. But addressing the whole thing with Iron Man, Doctor Strange and Thor, Thanos mopped the floor with Thor and left him to die on his ship to explode. So if you're Thanos in this situation, you might actually be forgiven for assuming that this person is dead and poses no more of a threat to you until... Doctor Strange was hiding the Infinity Stone from Thanos, so if Thanos went all out and killed him, he wouldn't be able to get Infinity Stone now, would he? Easy. As for Iron Man, let me say this, that Thanos wasn't going all out. He wasn't going all out. He was taking it 100% easy. Like, what are you talking about, you egg-fuck cunt? You see what I'm saying with fan theories? As soon as you put even the modicum of thought to them, they just fall apart harder than a jigsaw puzzle on a bouncy castle with a fat whore. He stabs him and throws a fucking moon at him, potentially killing everyone there, including Doctor Strange, which would have caused him to lose the Time Stone. Wait, what? Nah, fuck it.
And that brings us to Avengers Endgame, where it seemed as though his mission to die was really turned up a notch. It's kind of understandable. He'd achieved his life goal of wiping out half of all life in the universe, he'd lost all of his key allies, including Gamora, who he loved, and he was seemingly permanently injured by the effects of the snap. Early in the movie, it was revealed that he'd use the stones again in order to destroy them. Not only would he have known that the second use of the stones when he was already severely injured could have killed him, this past version of the Mad Titan had literally seen himself decapitated by Thor, courtesy of Nebula's digital memory, yet he was still prepared to fight the God of Thunder again alongside both Captain America and Iron Man, in spite of the fact that he had no Infinity Stones in his possession at that point. In fact, he was well aware of the fact that the Avengers had all 6 of them in their possession, but was still prepared to do battle with them when he had none. Even against the likes of Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch, that's a guy with a death wish if we've ever heard of one.
That's actually a really good point you bring up. Hold on, I'm just gonna play this completely unrelated clip right now, yeah?
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are. Oh, you are. I don't even know who you are.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly blast right through these points now. You okay with that? No? Okay, fuck you. Number 1. Thanos did not know that snapping his fingers again would send out enough radiation for our heroes to find him. That is a basis assumption, fuck you. Number 2. Just because he went to a planet with no guns, no armies and nothing, doesn't mean he wanted to die. Have you ever heard of retirement? Number 3. First time Thanos said this, he was gloating to our heroes. The second time he said it is because he heard him say it for the first time, and it was a nice little way of saying fuck you, but then Tony Stark was like, don't fuck me, fuck you. Number 4. Clearly this person doesn't understand the language of subtlety, so I'm going to translate this for you, for those of you who are mentally impaired. You should have killed me, you fucking idiot.
It was, of course, at that point that Stark would snap Thanos and his armies out of existence, and Thanos looked incredibly calm and accepting about the whole thing. In fact, he sat down and made himself comfortable, ready for the moment he would turn to dust. Again, it was like he was happy it was happening. It was like he was happy it was happening. It was like he was happy it was happening. It's worth noting that there's an Eternals movie set for release in Phase 4 of the MCU, and Thanos is one of the most prominent Eternal characters in the comics. Specifically, he's an Eternal deviant hybrid, and it would be very strange for a movie based on the Eternals not to include him.
Oh yeah, it'd be like if they did a story of Thanos and the Infinity Stones and did it without Silver Surfer or Adam fucking Warlock. God, this is depressing. I think I'm gonna smash my phone now.